What's up, everyone, and welcome into Buffs News Weekly. I'm your host, Russ, and today we will be breaking down the 5 players that I believe will be breakouts for the Buffs in 2025 and players that you should be paying attention to as the season draws near. At number 1, the first player that I believe will have a breakout season for the Buffs, sophomore Micah Welsh. As highlighted by the Ralphie Report Online, Welsh averaged 4.3 yards per carry with 4 touchdowns in limited 2024 action due to some nagging injuries. He also showed clutch big play potential at different times, and with the departure of Isaiah Augustov, he's expected to be a co-starter in 2025 alongside Dallin Hayden. With reports that the Buffs will bring a more balanced attack, I expect Micah Welsh to have a breakout season for Colorado and hopefully bring back the running game so that the Buffs can have a much more balanced attack in 2025. My second breakout player is another running back on the team, Dallin Hayden. The transfer from Ohio State last year had an up and down season where he seemed to struggle at times, but this year has really put in the work and stuck it out at Colorado, and I believe that alongside Micah Welsh, Dallin Hayden could provide a nice 1-2 punch in the running back room. And when you add a coach like Marshall Faulk to the staff, you have to assume that the running game is going to be completely revolutionized this season for the Buffs. So look out for both Micah Welsh and Dallin Hayden to have very successful 2025 campaigns. My number 3 breakout player for the Buffs this season is transfer wide receiver Joseph Williams. Williams comes to Colorado via Tulsa, where in his true freshman season, he was able to put on a show for Tulsa. Williams' stats last year included 52 receptions, 678 yards, 7 touchdowns, and included 4 separate 100-yard games. It is these stats that truly show that Joseph Williams has the potential to be one of the top targets for CU this season and potentially one of the best wide receivers in the entire Big 12. At 6'3", with elite body control, Williams fits perfectly into Colorado's new look wide receiver room. He's expected to line up on the opposite side of Trayon Miller and Omarion Miller, giving new quarterback Hayden Salter a true wide receiver 1 deep threat option. I'll be excited to see how Joseph Williams comes onto the scene and whether he can live up to the hype of potentially being one of the best wide receivers in the entire conference. My number 4 breakout player for the Buffs also comes on the offensive side of the ball and the wide receiver room, and that is sophomore Trayon Miller. Last year, as a freshman, Miller was able to post 25 catches for 218 yards and earned him a spot to help out Trayon Sanders during pro day drills. Miller is currently being groomed to be a top slot option for Colorado going forward, and both Sports Illustrated and Beaumont Enterprise list him as a rising sophomore star, ready to take the next step as a full-time starter for the Buffs. Be on the lookout for Trayon Miller this year, both on the field and off the field, as he has started to become a leader in that locker room as only a sophomore. I'm so excited to see what Trayon Miller is able to provide for the Buffs in the 2025 season and whether or not he can take that next step. And finally, my 5th breakout player of the season comes on the defensive side of the ball. We couldn't leave that alone. That is Sam Okinola, defensive end who came to Colorado last year via Pitt. Now, Okinola in his first year at Pitt was able to notch 3 sacks and 7 tackles for a loss, while his first campaign with the Buffs saw him start 13 games and record 18 solo tackles, 3 total sacks, including 21 yards of sack yards, and included 9 quarterback hurries across all 13 games and 1 pass breakup. Okinola is set to star on the defensive line alongside the likes of Arden Walker and Keaton Wade, and I believe that he has a chance to absolutely break out for the Buffs in 2025. For me, the over and under for Okinola is 7.5 sacks, with hopefully him hitting the over, which would signify Colorado being a successful defense. I know that Rob Livingston has a lot in store for the defensive line, and Sam Okinola should absolutely reap the benefits of what he's able to bring. The defensive line is also now being coached by George Hilo as well, so it'll be interesting to see if the coach addition makes any changes and is able to increase the play for Sam Okinola in the 2025 season. Those are the 5 players that I believe will be a breakout player for the Buffs in 2025. Now, let me know in the comments down below who you think will be a breakout player for the Buffs this season. And if you love this content, of course, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time on Buffs News Weekly. Sko Buffs!